Hello, my name is William Alston, and I decided to map the religious rights of the world. So, I have three separate maps, one to show the degree of religious freedom that countries around the world have. Another shows what kind of countries are making violations according to the Universal Declaration of Human Rights. Now, these violations don't have any real ramifications because it's not a binding document, it's just a declaration. Um, and specifically looking at Article 18, which establishes the freedom of belief in religion. The third mapping I'll be showing you correlates these religious violations to violent outbreaks. So it kind of overlays those two maps to see what's going on there. So this first map is religious freedoms. The darker areas indicate more religious freedoms. So as you can see, most of the Western world has a high degree of religious freedom. A lot of Southern and Western Africa also shares this benefit, as well as Europe. But as you can see, North and East Africa, as well as most of the Asian continent, have lesser degrees of religious freedom. And that makes sense with what most people hear. So if you look at this map, it shows what the U.S. considers violators of religious freedom. So the light colors indicate countries that are just being monitored currently. They're not particularly causing a lot of trouble religiously. The second tier color is those who seem to be pushing the boundary some, whereas the first tier color are the ones that are actually, committing violations. So those are really what we're going to focus in on here. So as you can see, there's the Middle East here, as well as China, that have particular problems. So if I overlay growing sites of violence, you can see that a lot of them overlap with these religious violations. So these certain countries that are not in accordance with the Declaration of Human Rights also have high capacities for violence. Now, some of them over here, you can see, aren't particularly involved. Over here we have North Korea, and then here we have the dispute in the southern China Sea. But most of this is Middle Eastern or Egypt area, which do have a lot of violent disputes involving religion. So, in seeing this, we can see that there is a correlation between these violent outbreaks and these religious violations. At least in the Middle Eastern part of the world there is. There are still violent outbreaks in other parts of the world, but not necessarily due to religion. So, some of the things we can expect from this is that, if religious tensions rise, we can expect to see violence, especially in this Middle Eastern area. And I guess the best way to respond to this is to, really crack down on religious freedoms, make sure that these violations are being treated and handled and resolved before violence can break out. And hopefully this presentation has been helpful. Good luck to everybody else out there, and thank you for listening.